The recording now. Okay, so welcome to the second session of our Zoom. Yesterday, I Zoomed with you from my marking location in Temas what's that primary school now? Where was I? Yes, I was at Townsville Primary School, that's right. Okay, so today I'm at home, so hopefully the connection is better than yesterday. It's less jumpy and jittery, okay? It's smoother. Okay, so I expect that more of you will be able to participate, okay? So I'm going to go into this and I'm going to look at this comprehension passage in the light of how we are actually going to tackle this particular comprehension passage in an exam-based format, okay? Gautam, can you admit? Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so let's look at the first question. Why did the players not notice the dust around them? So I'm going to highlight not notice the dust around them. This is the keyword, right? Okay, and I'm going to look for the same keyword in the question, in the passage, okay? So since this is question 1, I'm going to expect to find the answer in the first paragraph, okay? All questions and answers are arranged sequentially in comprehension. They follow an order. So if you follow the order of the passage, you can't go too far wrong in finding where the answer is, okay? So in this case, why did the players not notice the dust? And I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to look here for something about dust and sand, okay? So I'm going to find it here, okay? Oblivious, okay? They chased around the ball, focused and oblivious to the clouds of dust swirling around them, okay? So they were oblivious, right? They did not notice. The word oblivious means did not notice. They were oblivious to the clouds of dust swirling around them, okay? So they chased around the ball. Oops, sorry, don't know what happened there. Okay, so they chased around the ball, okay? And then they were focused and oblivious to the clouds of dust swirling around them, right? Let's come back to the question here. Why did the players not notice the dust around them? So I'm looking at the question why. Why? And I'm looking at 1 mark. So I'm looking at one reason why the players did not notice the dust that was swirling around them. Would anyone like to try this answer? Andrea, go ahead.
Because they were too focused.
Okay, Andrea says they were too focused. Do you think that answers the question? Ruhi, what do you think?
They were too focused on the ball and the football match.
Okay, so what's the difference between Ruhi's answer and Andrea's answer? Andrea's answer is about focus, right? But Ruhi goes a bit further to tell us what the focus is on. Now, Andrea, which answer do you think is a better one?
Ruhi's answer.
Why?
Because she said what they are focused on.
So can you see the importance of increasing your scope to include the information that is required? Okay, so be very careful. Here, they are focused, right? So what are they focused on that makes them not notice the dust? They are focused on the ball, right? They are focused on the ball. They're focused on chasing the ball around. Okay, so the answer here, Andrea, would you like to phrase the answer for us? To answer the question in a complete sentence?
The players did not notice the dust around them because they were too focused on the ball and the match.
Okay, they were too focused on the ball. All right. There's no need to mention the match, okay? But it's more of the ball that they're focused on, right? So they're focused on the ball. They were chasing, right? They were chasing the ball, right? So try to include the relevant information here. Why did they not notice? Because they were too focused. What were they focused on? The ball, right? So as long as I have too focused on the ball, this will give me the 1 mark, okay? So be very careful that when we're answering questions like this, right, even though it's 1 mark, right, you don't omit important information. Okay, so in this case, the important information is the focus on the ball, right? Focus on what? Focus on the ball. So try when you answer the question not to leave other questions on the table. So in this case, if I were to take Andrea's original answer, they were too focused, then I will need to ask a second question, right? What were they too focused on? Then you would say they were too focused on the ball or they were too focused on the football match. Then that means that your answer is incomplete, okay? So whenever you're answering a question, try to make sure that the answer completely answers the question without the need to ask any further questions, okay? So that's the lesson that I wanted to bring about. Okay, so next, question number 2. So we are looking for 1-word phrase, 2-word phrase, and 3-word phrase that tells us that Bilia is an impressive player. Okay, so lines 4 to 14, I will outline the lines to you. Now, this is a very interesting question. It doesn't occur in primary 4, it occurs in primary 5, but it's a very good question because it tests your ability to look at the phrases, 1 word, 2 word, 3 word. Do you all know the difference between a 1 word phrase, a 2 word phrase, and a 3 word phrase, everybody? Do you all know what's a phrase? Who doesn't know what's a phrase? Anybody? You raise your hands if you don't know what's a phrase and you need me to explain it, okay? I don't know why my camera keeps swinging away from me every time I wave my hands. Okay, but never mind. Okay, I think it just wants to run away. Okay, quick. Anybody? Can anybody tell me what a phrase is? If you know what that means, raise your hands. Okay, Gautam, go ahead.
It's like an expression.
No, I want it to be more technical. What is a phrase? Tell me what a phrase is, not what it does. A phrase is an expression. Yes, that's what it does. But what is it? Right? Tell me technically what it is. Andrea?
That is words, but they're like connected to each other.
Okay, very good. Yes, it's a collection or connection of words, right? It can be 1 word, it can be 2 words connected together, it can be 3 words connected together, it can be 4 or 5 even. Okay, but the difference between a word, a phrase, and a sentence are a word is by itself, always alone. A phrase is a collection of words connected together, but not a sentence. And a sentence is capital letter to full stop. Got it, everybody? Word is 1 word. Phrase is a collection of words, but they don't make up a sentence. They don't qualify for it. Why? Because they don't have a capital letter full stop, right? And a sentence is the complete and longest form, which is from capital letter to full stop, is a sentence. Got it, everyone? So when they ask you for a word, ask you for a phrase, ask you for a sentence, you must be careful to give them exactly what they ask for. Huh? Don't give them the wrong thing. Huh? If they ask you for a phrase, you give me a sentence, you will get it wrong. Huh? Got it, everybody? If I ask you for a phrase, you give me a sentence, you get it wrong. Huh? If I ask you for a sentence, you give me a phrase, you'll get it wrong. Huh? Okay, so you must know exactly what I'm asking for, okay? So in this case, lines 4 to 14, okay? I'm looking for 1 word, I'm looking for 2 words, and I'm looking for 3 words. All about the same thing. How Bilia is really super impressive as a player. Okay, so now let's look at lines 4 to 14, which happens to be after the first paragraph, right? So lines 4 to 14, here. Second paragraph and third paragraph, okay, here. This is lines 4 to 14. Okay, so now let's look at this section here, and we are looking at 1 word, 2 word, 3 word. Anyone, you all look for it now, and then quickly, fastest fingers first, tell me which are the 1, 2, 3 word phrases that tell me Bilia is an exceptional, amazing, super player. Go ahead, raise your hands, fastest fingers first. Can be 1 word, 2 word, or 3 word, whichever you spot first. Okay, Thaddeus, which one? Tell me, 1 word, 2 word, or 3 word?
2 word,
2 word, which one is it?
quick-footed.
Quick-footed. Okay. Do y'all think it's okay? Quick-footed. All right. Okay. Let me see. Actually, no, not really. Okay, Thaddeus. I'm looking for something that tells me that he's like super. He's special. He's he is like really amazing. Okay, so no, that's not the 2 word phrase that I'm looking for. But thank you for trying. Okay, quick-footed, they're all quick-footed, but there's something that makes him special. Okay, Brennan, tell me which one you're looking out for.
1 word.
Okay, which word is it?
Particular.
Which line are you talking about, please?
Mm, 5. Line 5. In the circle.
Line 5. What word is it again?
Particular.
Particular. I don't see any particular in line 5, do you all?
No, in the circle area, line 5.
No, there are line references on the side, right? There's numbers on the side, right? Those are the line references. Tell me which line it is. Don't count the number of lines. Tell me the line reference, please.
4 to 14. Line 4 to 14.
Okay, so this is line 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, just to clarify to you, Brennan, which line is it? Oh dear, I'm sorry. What happened? There seemed to have been a glitch. Okay, hold on. Let me just share the thing again. Okay, hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. I think Brandon glitched out the system, is it? Okay, Brandon, can you tell me what line is it?
Line 8, particular.
Line 8. Okay. One particular player. Okay, so not really. Okay, not really. That's not the one word that I'm looking for either. Oh dear. Okay, let's see. Andrea, what about you? Which number? 1, 2, or 3?
2, line 8.
Okay, line 8.
Stood out.
Stood out. Okay, thank you. Right, that's the first correct answer. Okay, so this is the two-word phrase. Stood out means somebody is special, right? They are not blending in. They are standing out from the crowd. They are special. They are particular. They are chosen. So they stood out. Okay, good. Dylan, what about you?
3 word.
3 words. Okay, which one?
Line 11, delight to watch.
They like to watch. Okay, good. Right. So he was quite amazing to watch, right? Everybody loved watching him. So that must mean that he was quite exceptional, right? People loved watching him play. Okay, good. So now I'm only left with the one-word phrase. Which one-word phrase, or rather, which one word tells me that he's exceptional? Okay, Thaddeus, you want to try again?
Initiative.
No, not initiative. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay. Can you all see? Can you all see anything on the screen? Cannot. Okay, never mind, it's okay, right. Okay. Anybody wants to try? What is the one word that tells me that he's special? Okay. Yes, Andrea.
Line 12.
Line 12.
Perfect. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. So this is the word, right? So it tells us that he was extremely skilled, correct? He did something that was beyond reproach. There was nothing wrong with it at all, right? So when somebody is perfect at something, does it not tell you that they are really good at it? Okay, when they do something perfectly, it shows you that they are quite talented, right? There's something special about them. Okay, so very good. Thank you all. Very good. Okay, so we are going to fill that in. So the word is perfect. Okay, the two word is stood out. Okay, and please remember when you're copying out the answers here, you must be very careful, okay? Don't make any mistakes, huh? And then the three-word phrase was, what was it? Delight to watch, right? Okay, very good. So delight to watch. Okay, excellent. Okay, so he was perfect in the way he passed. He stood out in the way that he played, and everybody who watched him really enjoyed watching him play. He was a delight to watch. Okay, so all of these contribute to the fact that he was very impressive, right? There was something special about him, okay, that made him different from the rest. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So this one is a cause and effect question. Okay, so something happens and it causes something else to happen. Do you all know cause and effect? You learned this in science, right? Okay, when you do something in the experiment, it causes something else to happen. Okay, so what you do is the cause, right? And what happens after you do it is called the effect, right? So in an experiment, you study both the cause and the effect of a particular phenomenon, okay? So in this case, right, I'm studying cause and effect, but I'm studying it in English, in comprehension. So somebody does something, and then something else happens as a result of it. In this case, the whistle blew, and then the result of the whistle blowing was the football match began, okay? So now I'm looking at cause on the left and effect on the right, So if I give you a cause, you must give me an effect. If I give you an effect, you must trace back to the cause, okay? So here, let's take a look first. The player was inattentive when the ball was passed to him, right? So the first cause is the player didn't pay attention. So I'm going to look over here. This is from lines 10 to 22. So there's a bit of an overlap, Okay, so 10 to 22 is here. 10 all the way to 22. So now I'm looking at this section here. Okay, so this section, and I'm going to erase the other one so that y'all don't get confused. Okay, I'm going to erase this so that y'all don't get confused. Okay, so now let's take a look here, and we'll find all the various causes and effects, okay? Gautam, give me a minute, okay? Let me just identify the cause first before you give me the answer, okay? So the boy was inattentive and missed the ball. It was a wasted chance. The score at halftime was still a goalless draw, okay? So the boy was inattentive. That was the cause, okay? Gautam, can you tell me what is the effect of his inattention? Okay. Gautam, are you there?
Give me a second. The boy was inattentive, so they missed the ball. So they missed the goal.
So what does that mean? When you miss the ball or you miss the goal, what does that mean? You must answer the question ultimately. You cannot just tell me. So when I ask you what happened, you say he missed the ball, right? So then my next question is, what happened when you miss the ball? What does not happen rather when you miss the ball? That's the next question, right?
You don't score the goal.
Yes, very good. So you must always remember, if I still need to ask you another question, that's not the ultimate form of your answer. You have to keep on asking until you get to the final answer. So in this case, right, the ball was passed to him. He missed the ball, right? So what does that mean when he missed the ball? He did not score a goal, right? So he did not score a goal, okay? Right? So when you miss the ball in front of the goal, that means you don't score a goal, okay? Right, so good. Next one, now I'm looking at effect, okay? What is the cause of the opposing team scoring a goal? So I need to look for the cause of this effect. So in this case, the effect is the opposing team scored a goal, right? So I'm going to look for when they scored a goal. Okay, so and I'm going to highlight it for you, okay? So within minutes in the game, a long shot by the opposing striker caught their goalkeeper off guard, right? So a long shot and then goal, the spectators scream. Okay, so the opposing team scored a goal, right? So what was the cause here? I'm looking at the cause, right? I'm looking at the cause. What is the cause of the opposing team scoring a goal? Okay, so I'm looking for the cause. What caused the opposing team to score a goal? Anyone? Okay, besides Andrea and Gautam, I would like the others to please try your best to participate, okay? Thaddeus also, and then, some of you chimed in. Dylan did a good job just now as well. But can I hear from some of you? Kaylan, yeah, go ahead.
The goalkeeper was distracted.
Okay, the goalkeeper got distracted. I would be very careful with using a different word from the text. How do you know the goalkeeper got distracted? Right? Does it say in the text that he was distracted? What does it say in the text? Always stick to the meaning of the text. Don't change the meaning. Right? So it says here that the goalkeeper was caught off guard, right? So when the goalkeeper was caught off guard, he wasn't able to save the ball, and therefore it was a goal that was scored by the opposing team, okay? Right? So do you all follow the rationale, the reasoning? Okay? So must be very careful. When you're answering the question, you must follow the sequence of events and don't use another word because it may not be the right word. Okay, so what caused the opposing team to score a goal? The goalkeeper of the prison team, okay, because they are the prison team, right, was caught off guard, right? Okay, like I mentioned to Kaylan, try not to introduce a different word like distracted because off guard and not distracted. Okay, so for example, let me give you a different scenario. If let's say I'm supposed to be guarding the goal, but then I see somebody in the audience that I know, then I wave at the person. Okay, that's called distracted, right? So I'm distracted by someone in the audience. Okay, but caught off guard means I might not be distracted by anything, right? But then suddenly the ball gets shot at me. I don't have time to prepare myself. And then I panic. And in that moment, the ball goes past me and goes into the goal. That is not being distracted, right? That's being caught off guard. right? Caught off guard is when you don't expect something to happen and it happens so quickly that you have no chance to react to it. Okay, so be careful when you use a word like distracted, it carries a different meaning, and because of the different meaning, you can get the mark wrong. Okay, you can get it incorrectly answered because you are not answering according to the question. Okay, so please be very careful about answering these questions. Okay, Kaylan, try to be very alert to not using the different meaning of a word. Okay, good. All right, thank you very much. Next, Misu tried to cheer the team up. That's the effect, right? Okay, why did Misu have to try to cheer the team up? Okay, so again, let's go back to the passage and let's look here, right? Okay, so actually, right, cheering the team up is outside of line 22, but the answer is before that, so it's within the line. So when the final whistle was blown, the match ended with only one goal. Okay, so therefore, okay, we see this is linked to the fact that he tried to cheer his players up. Okay, so again, this question, right, requires you to think carefully and answer properly. You cannot just say that the match ended with only one goal because that doesn't answer the question, right? So what is it that causes the prison team to be so sad that Misu must like try to cheer them up, right? They're feeling very sad, right? So what is it that's causing them to feel very sad over here that causes Misu to try to cheer them up? Okay, Janessa?
Because since they only score one goal, that means the opposing team will probably score more goals, and
Wait. Stop. You are not understanding the question correctly. Who scored the one goal? They scored the one goal or the opponent scored the one goal?
The prison.
Who scored the one goal?
The prison team.
No. Okay. The prison team did not score a goal. Do you all understand the story, everybody? Okay, I show you. Over here, right, the prison team in the beginning, right, they had a chance, okay? It was a wasted chance. That means Bilia passed the ball to his friend, right? But his friend didn't pay attention. Then he missed. So they didn't score a goal here. There was no goal scored here. Then later on, right, the opposing striker, right, shot the ball at the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper was caught off guard. Then they scored the goal. So who scored the goal? Is it the prison team or the opposing team? Yeah, it's the opposing team, right? You follow, right? So it's not the prison team that scored a goal, it's the opposing team that scored a goal. So then at the end of halftime, right? Not at the end of halftime, at the end of the final whistle, end of the game, they are down by one goal, right? So what does that mean? Andrea?
They lost.
They lost, right? They lost the match. So again, I come back here. Why do you think Misu had to cheer them up? Andrea, can you answer for us? Just answer the same thing you just said again. Andrea, go.
Because they lost.
Yeah, what did they lose? They lost the
match.
Yeah, they lost the match, right? Yeah. How do I know that they lost the match? The final whistle blew and they were down by one goal, right? So in football, in any game, actually, if you are below the other team in points, when the final whistle blows, you lose, right? So that's the reason why they're feeling so sad. They dragged themselves into the locker room because they were so dejected, discouraged, that they had just lost by only one goal. And the one goal was because A, their goalkeeper not paying attention, caught off guard, and then B, their own player also not paying attention, got distracted, and then in the end missed the goal, right? Otherwise, they would have won the match. Can you all see? So that's why Misu had to encourage them, cheer them up, because they were very disappointed they had lost the match. Okay, they had lost the match. That's what caused them to feel very, very discouraged. Are you all okay so far? Everybody following? Okay. Can you see how you need to be very careful when you are phrasing your answer, when you're looking at comprehension? Because there are a lot of very tricky questions. Maybe not in primary 4. Most of the questions, I don't know why my camera keeps swinging away from me. My new camera doesn't quite like me very much. Okay, there we go. It's back again. Okay. Right. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, yes. So do you all understand, everybody? Are you all following so far? Okay, be very careful when you're answering questions in comprehension. Because in primary 5, it's going to get a lot more tricky. In primary 4, it's going to be still pretty straightforward. You just need to tick and do a lot of true, false, and it's quite simple. But the moment you go up to primary 5, you're going to have a lot of these kind of questions, okay? They'll test your ability to fully answer the question and not just give a surface level answer that requires even more information that you're not giving. Okay, then you don't get the answer. Huh? Okay, let's go. Next one. This one, this is pretty easy. They want you to describe the prison team in lines 18 to 25. So what are they feeling in lines 18 to 25? Huh? So again, I come back here. There are a lot of line references. So you all need to be very good at tracking the lines. 18 to 25, okay? So I'm going to remove this and I'm going to draw up lines 18 to 25. Huh? So 18 to 25 is here. Okay, so we are reading this section here and we have to come up with how the prison team is feeling. Okay, so over here in this first paragraph, okay, from lines 18 to 22, okay, they did not lose heart. Okay, they made every attempt to equalize the score. Okay, but then only at the end of the whole game, they still lost. Okay, so they dragged their sore feet off the pitch. Their heads were hung low. Okay, and then they needed to be cheered up. Okay, so between these two things that happen, right? Again, between these two things that happen, what do you think they are feeling? Okay, look at all these words here. Okay, and then there are 2. You need to tick 2. Please read the questions carefully. Don't tick 3. 3 all wrong. 4 all wrong. If you tick more than 2, everything will be wrong. Okay, so you must be very careful and read the question. Joshua, tell me 1. Joshua, tell me 1 quickly.
Disappointed.
Disappointed, okay, agreed. Right, obviously very disappointed, not happy with the results, right? Not happy with the fact that they lost by such a narrow margin. Okay, very good. Let's see. I'm going to ask somebody else that didn't raise their hands. Okay. Callum, what do you think?
Distracted.
Distracted?
Yeah.
Why are they distracted? There's nothing in the 2 paragraphs that shows you that they're distracted. What? Distracted means that you're not focused on something, you know. No, it's not distracted. Okay? Remember I said they kept on going, they didn't give up, right? They kept on playing, they tried to equalize with all of their might. But then at the end, they couldn't. And so as a result of that, they felt very disappointed, right? They're very sad, okay? But before they were very disappointed, how did they feel? Right? Before that, what was their feeling? Okay. Let's see. Cheyenne?
Persistent.
They were persistent, right? Yeah. They didn't give up, right? They kept on trying to equalize. Equalize means they tried to score a goal so that it will be 1-1 again. Because they were down by 1 goal, right? They tried their best to keep on equalizing, but they didn't. They couldn't, right? So at the end, they were very disappointed. So the persistence didn't bear fruit, so it led to disappointment. Okay, persistence first, followed by disappointment second. Okay, so please be very, very alert to the phrases that appear in the passages so that you can distill it down to the word that refers to that feeling. Okay, so in this case, it's very clear that they were at first very persistent. Okay, because over here, they made every attempt to equalize the score. They did not lose heart. This is persistence. Then, when that didn't work, they were very dejected, right? They were disappointed. Their heads hung low and they had to be cheered up. Okay, distraction is nowhere here, Callum. There's no distraction anywhere here. Nothing about distraction. So you must be very clear about what the words mean, okay? Be very careful about what the words mean. Okay, next. How did the team prove that they were not good for nothing? So how did they prove that they were not good for nothing? So in line 25, it says they were not good for nothing. What did they do to show that they are not a good for nothing team? Because they are from the prison, right? A lot of people look down on them, think they are good for nothing, okay? But something they did tells us that they were not a good for nothing team. So let's look for line 25, okay? Before that, let me just erase all of this so that you will not be distracted. Okay, so here, they were not good for nothing, okay? So this is what it is. But what did they do to show everybody that they were not good for nothing? okay? What did they do? It's somewhere in this paragraph. It's in the same paragraph. It's nearby here, okay? Let's see whether you can find it, okay? Thank you, Andrea, Gautam, and Janessa. I love your participation, but I'm going to call somebody else that didn't raise their hand, okay? If you don't mind, right? Let's see. Would anybody like to volunteer that has not yet answered so that I can see someone else's face and hear someone else's voice? Thaddeus and Cheyenne, you've already answered. Thank you. Okay, now my Cheyenne, I give you another chance because you only answered a very short question, okay? So can you tell us what they did to show us that they were not good for nothing in the same paragraph?
They did play well.
Huh? They played well. Where in the passage does it say that they played well?
Line 24.
24. They did play well and even managed to prove that, okay, they played well, okay, but that's not sufficient, okay, that's not sufficient. There's something else here that's stronger than in this paragraph than they played well, okay? What did they do that proved that they were not good for nothing, okay? What did they do that proved that they were not good for nothing? Okay, playing well, okay, not too bad, but there's something even better in this paragraph. It's in the same paragraph, okay? Thaddeus?
They tried their best.
Okay, very good. Thank you. They tried their best. Here. Okay, they tried their best. Okay. Good job, Thaddeus. Okay. So they tried their best. They didn't just do a good job, they tried their best. Okay. And when you hear the word tried their best, it means that they could not do anything else better than that. They did the very best. Okay. So they tried their best. And played well. Okay. Right. Now, between try their best and play well, which one is more important? Which one is more important? Between try their best and play well, which one is more important? Andrea, what do you think?
Try their best is more important
Why? Why?
because they put in their effort to try to do it.
Is it possible to play well but then be very lazy and not put in your best effort? Can you be like you are very talented, right? But then you don't need to try very hard. You just play like half-heartedly. You will still play well. Is it possible? Possible, right? It's possible to, if you're really good, to not put in your best effort. But then when you put in your best effort, right, isn't that more important than playing well, right? It's the attitude and the effort that counts, right? And that's what shows to us that they are not good for nothing. Okay, it's not the talent, in other words, it's actually their effort, their attitude. Okay, and because they tried their best and they played well, that was why they were not good for nothing. Okay, everybody. So see the distinction between the two. You can put in a lot of effort into something, right? And you can do badly, or you can be very, very talented and you don't need to put in any effort. And sometimes you can do well. Okay, but ultimately at the end of the day, the more important thing is the effort, right? It's the attitude, it's the heart that you have to want to do the best that you can. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Gautam, please help me admit Kaden. Okay, thank you. All right. Sorry, Janessa, did you have something you want to ask or?
For like the try their best and play well, is it like their context or the audience's context?
Oh, okay. It's from the
Because
audience
if
context.
if they say that they tried their best, but then other people might not think they tried their best. So,
Okay, so
and then
the
they might
important thing
also
is that
think that they're still good for nothing.
okay, I get your point. That's why I say it's the audience, it's from the audience perspective. Okay, so as long as the audience sees that they tried their best, and in this case, the audience is me, the reader. So when I read, I see that they tried their best, then that's good enough for me. I may not think that they played very well, right? When I watch them play, I may not think that they played very well, but I can see that they tried their best. Then that's good enough for me. Okay, so the trying their best is more important than the fact that they played skillfully. Okay, but of course, playing well is also important, right? You can try your very best, and in the end, you fail. It's still a failure, right? The effort doesn't cancel out the fact that you fail, right? Okay, so that's why I put both. Try their best and play well. Okay, I hope that kind of clarifies for you. But between the two, if I had to choose, I would choose effort and attitude over results any day. Because doesn't mean today you do well, tomorrow you will do well again. It's your attitude that's more consistent. If you try your best, every day you'll get better. Even if you do badly today, tomorrow you'll do a little bit better, and then a little bit better, until one day you'll get very, very good at something. Okay? So attitude and effort are, in my mind, much more important than raw talent. Okay? Especially if raw talent is paired with bad attitude. That will be really bad. Okay? Yeah. Andrea and Gautam, do you all have any other questions? If not, you lower your hands, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on. Okay. I will end shortly, okay? I will end shortly, right? I don't want to keep you all for too long. We've already been going for 40 minutes. Good job, everybody. Yay! Okay, today's session quite long, good job, okay? Are you all tired? Do you all need an eye break? My camera seems to need an eye break. It keeps swirling away from me for some odd reason. Yeah, but never mind, it's okay. I will beat its backside later, okay? But for now, can you all please tell me if you need an eye break? Are you all okay? Can I go on for another 10 minutes more? 10 minutes more, that's all, then we're done. Not if you're okay with it, please. Callum, are you okay with it? Okay, right, so let's go. So in this case, right, I'm looking for what the word refers to. And this one very, very difficult type of question. The reference means you must be very accurate. If you don't give the correct answer, right, your phrasing of your answer is off. You can get the right content but still get the wrong answer. Okay, so in this case, I'm looking at line 8, disadvantage. Okay, so I'm going to go to line 8. I'm going to look at the word disadvantage. Okay, so what does this disadvantage refer to? Okay, it will usually be before or after the word. Okay, it will be before or after the word. Okay, yeah, Andrea?
The opposing team wore football boots, but the prison team was barefoot.
Okay, very good. So the disadvantage was the fact that the opposing team wore football boots, but the prison team played barefoot. Okay, both must be given. Okay, because if I just say the prison team played barefoot, is that the correct answer? No, right? It's not the correct answer, because if I play barefoot and you also play barefoot, then it's not a disadvantage, right? Or if I say the opposing team wore football boots, is that the correct answer? No, also cannot, because if I also wear football boots, you also wear football boots, then it's not a disadvantage. Okay, so you must have both the fact that the opposing team wore football boots and the fact that the prison team was barefoot. That is the actual disadvantage. Okay, the comparison between the two must be given. If you only have one side without the other, this answer is wrong. So very tricky. Can you all see here? Very tricky. Some of you will just write, oh, the prison team was barefoot. Wrong. Some of you will write, oh, the opposing team wore football boots. Wrong. Okay, you must have both. Do you all understand? Everybody? Okay, so you must really think carefully before you answer comprehension questions, because comprehension tests comprehension, right? Is your ability to comprehend or understand, and you cannot simply give one part of it. Okay. The prison team was barefoot, but the opposing team wore football boots. Okay. Both must be included in order for your answer to be correct. Okay. Sorry, Janessa, do you have a question?
No, I just want to answer the next question.
Okay, then Janessa, you answered line 15. Okay, them.
The them
So
is
them?
the them is the opponent team.
The opposing team, right? Yeah, the opposing team,
Yeah.
right? Okay, good. Right, so correct,
The private
the
football.
opposing team, please make sure you spell and write the word correctly. It's not the opponent, it's the opposing team. Okay, the opposing team, right? So them refers to the opposing team. Be very accurate in what you refer to. And then very serious crimes. Now, this one also a bit tricky. Gautam, you want to try this? Very serious crimes in line 31. Okay, very serious crimes here. What do these very serious crimes refer to? It's further up. Actually, it's quite far up.
The very serious crimes refer to why Bilia got thrown into prison. He got thrown into prison for stealing bananas and injuring the seller while trying to get away.
Okay, so stealing bananas and injuring the seller, right, is the crime now. Okay, so I know that it doesn't sound like a serious crime, stealing bananas, right? But you do realize that it's the injuring of the seller that's the serious crime, right? You understand, right? Okay, stealing bananas is not a serious crime. It's a petty crime. Petty means not serious, but injuring someone, right, harming someone physically is a serious crime. You all know that, right? Anytime you hurt someone or you harm someone intentionally in the course of committing a crime, it is a serious offense and you can get a lot of years in jail for it. Okay. The moment someone is hurt, okay, it's not the object, it's the person that's more important in the eyes of the law. Okay. People are more important than property. Okay. So over here, right, the very serious crime was stealing bananas. Okay. Okay, I'm not saying that stealing is not a serious crime, but the more serious crime was injuring the seller, right? When he was trying to escape, right? Probably the banana seller was trying to restrain him or apprehend him. He resisted and hurt the seller, okay? And as a result, was thrown into prison for a serious crime of hurting someone, okay? Right? Assault is a serious crime. Okay, Ruhi, would you like to, do you have a question to ask or you want to try the next question? Ruhi, did you want to try the next question? Sorry, when you lower your hand, you disappear from my screen. Where is Ruhi? Hello, Ruhi, are you there?
No, I just wanted to answer the very serious crimes question.
Oh, the very serious crimes question. Okay, all right. Then let me just select someone to do the sequencing question. Hold on. Lucas, can you please get out of bed and sit properly? Thank you very much. You do realize that you are being recorded, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's have Alexis and Ian. Can you all collaborate to answer these questions, please? 1, 2, and 3. Which one happened first, second, and third? You need to refer to the text. You need to look at the text to do this. Alexis and Ian, are you there? Can you hear me? Yep, you can hear me. Okay, would you like to look at the text to do the sequencing? Okay, I'm going to move up to the text, okay? Then I'm going to zoom out so you can see the entire text. Okay, I hope you can see it. Okay, the rest of us, please read along as well, okay? I hope you all can see it. Is it too small? Okay, Okay, work together, okay, Alexis and Ian? Okay, have you all finished reading? You want me to go back to the question or you still need more time to read? Glad to see you all reading so intently.
Can you enlarge on the text?
Can I enlarge the text? Okay, sure. Here you go. Is that better? I hope you all are using a computer screen. If you're using a mobile screen, it will be too small for you. Okay. Right. And I think we'll stop here, okay? Because I think I need to get started with my P5 students shortly already, okay? Sequencing. Come, Alexis, Ian. Are you all ready?
We still wasn't done reading because just now it was too small and we had too little time.
Okay, never mind. Janessa, would you like to just finish it off for us?
So number 1 is Misu spoke well of his team's performance.
Correct.
Then
Thank
after
you.
that, number 2 is the Ricardo wanted a player from the prison team.
Very good.
Then the third one is the last one, which is Corporal Tanga made an offer to the prisoner.
Very good. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. You know which is the player and the prisoner, right? Is Bilia, right? Okay, they are referring to Bilia, okay? So what happened was, Misu praised his team in front of Corporal Tanga. Corporal Tanga was very impressed, and Ricardo as well. So Ricardo wanted a player from this prison team, and then as a result, he went to visit Corporal Tanga went to make an offer for Bilia. Okay, and then in the end, of course, we know that Bilia left. Okay,